There was a mound of grass in the park I used to lie on as a boy, head cupped in hands, looking up at the sky, watching the clouds go by. There was a roundabout, good for sky watching too, if you didn't get thrown by the big boys who'd spin you off. I was always watching. I watched my dad. I watched him make a paper plane, not just a simple dart. Shaped nose, curved wings, twin tail, ailerons for fine control. It had real style. I don't remember him teaching me, or how old, but I could show you how to make one now, blindfold. Watched him swim at the end of our road, from shore to boat to shore, Whale Island and back. It isn't far at all. Sleek overarm, slow motion crawl. So powerful, elegant, effortless, straight and purposeful. I imagined him swimming like he lived, carving his way through the waves. I watched him decorate our house several times a year. Everything seemed to be battleship grey, stuff he brought home from work one day. I can see my dad when I see those tones, the dust sheets, the sandpaper, the smells, the white spirit. He did have the right spirit. I loved to watch him paint with an old brush, a brush with life. Watched him prepare cars and spray paint them too. That was a job he actually took me to. Newspaper and masking tape to cover the windows, and a healthy dose of cellulose thinners. The freehand lines he painted with Fitch on the sides of vehicles for the rich were magnificent, always with a roll-up fag drooping from his mouth as a guide to direction. The details were beautiful, they were perfection. His freestyle flowing movements matching any skater. Watched him roll his golden Virginia, always by hand. Thin strands of real gold, teased lovingly without force. Hairy tobacco sprouts pinched off with heart. Blunt ends wet mouthed to finish the delicacy. It was a soothing meditation. I think he decorated the house so often because the nicotine didn't just stain his fingers, it got everywhere. We even had grey paint on the ceiling right there. Watched him slide home Sunday lunchtimes, fine times, gifting American hard gums, coconut mushrooms, pear drops, all with good love from the pub. Sweetness for us to savour and forgive. Sitting, gently smiling over his mountain of roast dinner, eyelids drifting, soon closing, sinking. No one blamed him. Watched him on the world at war, fighting against Rommel's Africa Corps, sleeves rolled up, berry askew. In the album, mates surrounding him, chewing gum, each with an arm leaned on strong young shoulders, solid as rocks in front of their Sherman, these soldiers. At war's end, he returned home mostly alone. Older and older, he was always a soldier. Watched him pull up the duvet to hide when I said, "See you later, Dad," on the morning of my ride. Getting married, a memorable day. What else was I to say? At least that's what I recall. It's strange, you see. He was always up before all. Always, but not that morning. I was leaving home, but somehow it looked like he thought I was leaving him. In later years, I watched him ride by, slowly, on his bike. Yes, that's right, several shades of battleship grey. Was there no end to this dubious stash? And grey plastic panniers on handlebars and saddle, carrying essential tools and plants from his shed to the gardening jobs supplementing his pension. He was never still, mostly silent, and ever resourceful, my dad. I'm watching him now in the mirror, shaving. I can see you, Dad. No, wait, not you, that's me. Here we are together. We never left each other. There was a mound of grass in the park I used to lie on as a boy, head cupped in hands, looking up at the sky, watching the clouds go by. There was a roundabout, good for sky watching too, if you didn't get thrown by the big boys who'd spin you off. always watching, watching, still watching, and the sky is always moving, just like my dad, swimming.